At the weekend, Jenny Graham came to visit us. You might, well, you probably have heard of her if you're into bikepacking. She broke the round the world record, the fastest female to ride around the world in 2018, and I was lucky enough to be the one that coached her to help her perform that amazing feat. Anyway, she was in Spain and going back to Scotland and called in to see us. And when I was putting the bike in the van when I picked her up, I thought, blimey, this is really heavy. And even though she was touring and so it wasn't a race, it just got me thinking about weight and how important weight is, and how over the years I've done various little calculations to see how much difference weight makes, and it makes surprisingly little difference. Obviously, a big change in weight, like maybe 10 kilos or something, can make a difference. But small differences, like even 2 or 3 kilograms, doesn't make much difference. It's things like getting fitter, improving your power, and improving your aerodynamics that are going to make the biggest difference. And on the flat, weight doesn't make very much difference at all. It makes a small amount of difference to your rolling resistance, but apart from that, it's insignificant. I use a tool called Best Bike Split quite a lot. There are other tools, but this is one that I quite like. One of the good things about it is that it has little sliders, so you can adjust what the weight might be. Say, well, if I reduce my weight by a little bit, does that make me faster? Or if I change my tyres, so I've got different rolling resistance, will that make a difference? Or if I can become a bit more aerodynamic, will that improve my time, or how much will it improve my time? And if I get fitter, if I can produce an extra 10 watts, will that make me faster, and how much faster? One of the riders that I coached used the long weekend in Britain that we've just had to do some tests on the London-Edinburgh-London route, which he's planning to do at the beginning of August. And so I've got fortunately rides with the power data, so we've got power data, and we can put it into Best Bike Split, combine it with the weather data and everything, and then we can play about with seeing, well, if he lost a bit of weight, or if he bought a lighter bike, or if he packed less stuff, would he be faster? Or if he maybe didn't use a bar bag, would he be faster because he would have improved his aerodynamics? So let's have a look at that here on Best Bike Split. So this is the console. So if you put the data in there, you need to have details of the bike, his sort of riding style, but there are generic things in there that you can use, and then the weight of the kit that he's got, how heavy he is, how tall he is, and various other physiological factors. And then you make an estimate of the normalised power is what I usually use. So I've got the data from his ride. His normalised power was about 160 watts, so that's what I put into Best Bike Split, and it spat out a time of 8 hours and 20 minutes, which isn't that far off what he did if you allow for the stops that he had. So we got this data into Best Bike Split, so what can we do with it other than just look at the power profile? Well, this tab here, the time analysis, gives you these sliders that I was talking about earlier, and the blue shaded area is the profile, the elevation profile that he rode at the weekend. So what you can see is that his average power was 152 watts. His weight with the bike is 82 kilos. So by moving this slider here, we can say that, you know, if he got his weight down to around 80 kilos, he would save 2 minutes over his 8-hour ride. And even if he could lose 5 kilos, which is 10 pounds if you're working in Imperial, off the weight of his setup, he's only saving 7 minutes in 8 hours. So you're not really gaining very much. Big differences in weight do make a difference, and the bike feels different and handles differently. So don't think that weight doesn't make any difference at all. But in terms of your overall time, even reducing this weight for a 70 kilo rider on a pretty good bike by 5 kilograms, which is a hell of a lot, you're not saving much time, you've saved 7 minutes. So just looking at the other sliders, if you could increase your power by, say, 3%, then that would give you the 7 minutes that you gain by losing 5 kilos. So that's 4 watts, 152 watts to 156 watts. And that might be that you can just ride a little bit smarter and use your energy more effectively, and you've gained back a lot more than you would have by saving a huge amount, in fact, probably an unfeasible amount of 5 kilos. So power and getting fitter and being the best you can is more important than losing weight. So thinking about that in terms of you as a person and being healthy and eating effectively, it's much better to eat properly get enough carbs in and make sure you're getting enough fuel. So in training, so that you can make the physiological gains that are important, because being a little bit lighter, losing a couple of pounds, maybe being a kilo or 2 kilos lighter in your body is going to be nowhere near as effective as being fitter, raising your FTP or your aerobic threshold. So I hope you found that useful. Please like and subscribe if you do find it useful and you want to see other videos and get reminded of other videos. It's really good. It's really motivating when I get comments. Please comment, let me know what you think. Share some ideas that you've found, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.